So we begin with the city of Eindhoven and the studio Toer. They will present a fascinating light art project that is happening right now in Eindhoven. And I won't say much more than that because they probably can say so much better than I can. So it is over to you, the team from Eindhoven.
A very welcome to you all. I hope you all can hear me.
Yes, we can.
With a wonderful amount of people tuning in, 92 now, and we are very happy to kick off this pecha kucha session with a brand new project in Eindhoven. We just started a bit more than a week ago. It's called Expression. We did it in close cooperation with Studio Toer. They will take over the presentation in a few minutes. But since Eindhoven is the one who asked Studio Toer to work with us on an artwork we call Expression, and this is a zoom in a picture of the artwork, I would like to spend a few seconds to explain why we did this. So that's the next slide, Wouter. By the way, it's Wouter, Widdershoven and Castor Bours from Studio Toer next to me on the left hand side. They are waving now. So Connecting You is the overarching title of this glow event. I like to call it an event, not a festival. We wanted to stimulate talent and offer a stage, although the festival itself was cancelled due to the pandemic. But we also wanted to give a light gift to the city of Eindhoven, to the inhabitants. And as you might know, we did already a kind of installation during the Glow Week with the blue light covering the city and the red balloons called Connecting Dots, excuse me. But that's not all. We also wanted to give this gift. It's an outdoor exhibition that everyone can enjoy individually and carefree in these times of limitations. There's 11 showcases, and they can be admired from Tuesday, November 24 to Monday, December 28. It's quite a long time. Can I have my next slide, Wouter? So this is the inner city of Eindhoven, and the black arrow points out the situation where Expression is placed. It's in front of a big warehouse, the biggest in Eindhoven, a famous Dutch warehouse, and we think of that position as one of the best. So what the challenge we faced, and we did it together, the city of Eindhoven with Toer, is the artists' commission, because we cannot invite people, but we do want to reach them. It's not a normal festival, and we were not allowed to make a route, for instance. The social message should be, despite everything, we want to keep expressing ourselves. That's what we all lack of in these curious times. And that's one of the messages we wanted to give with this artwork. And the visual metaphor I was looking for is to attract and repel. And that's also the moment where Wouter and Castor come in, even in this presentation. So Wouter and Castor, please take the floor.
All right. Thank you. You can hear us too, I hope. Thank you for having us, first of all. We'll take over from here, but although the process was a very much interwoven thing, we shortly like to introduce ourselves first. So yeah. We have a studio. We make mainly light art, kinetic interactive light art. We have a short video. Can we show it now? So in our studio, we work a lot with light and movement as a means of communication, as an intervention in public space. That's how we work usually. But now that's not possible anymore. I mean, we like to get a big space outdoors, big black space to create an intervention and to have people come over and
experience the whole thing. Yeah.
True.
But yeah, so for this particular project, it was a totally different thing because Rik came to us with a kind of a question, like how can we anyway express ourselves or show something to the public without having a festival. And also the location was kind of unknown for us almost till the end of the project. The only thing that we knew that it had to be fitting in a box of more or less 1 by 1, like a cube, like a very, for us, quite a small setting. So that was a nice challenge to work on.
There's also a contrast. I think normally we get a big dark space, and now we can't do anything anymore. And now we've got this little glass cube, and even though it's very little, we did want to do this because at least, even though it's small, this is something we, in these days, really can bring to the people, bring outside.
Yeah. So that was quite intense because we worked with Rik, like almost on weekly basis. He was coming to our studio to discuss it and have a view at the work, and that was also very nice for us. So we knew that we were going into the right direction. We had discussions on what do we want to communicate, how can we communicate, what's possible, because a lot of things are not possible anymore.
Yeah, and it's also a lot of things. It's new in many ways. So for us to express ourselves in also of course for the city to somehow tell a message in a small box is new, and to also we didn't know. I mean, what we wanted to express ourselves, the city as well, but we don't know how to do this. So that was a very intense cooperation of exploring it together.
Yeah. So. I think we should talk about the work. Yeah, so what we created on the end is an installation that really shows the idea of being locked, of being physically inside a space and not being able to go out. If you want to go out, if you want to express yourself, you see that there are boundaries and you cannot go there anymore. So literally it's a bag that deflates itself and goes in itself, and when it goes in itself it lights up, but when it wants to express itself again, it physically blocks the light by pushing the boundaries, and it blocks the light. So basically it dims the light and it goes off, so it disappears a bit. So it's a very artistic way of communicating the thing that we are all feeling like we are not able to express.
We want to express, but we can't.
Yeah. There's a little movie. I don't know if you can show that.
Just to let you know, you have 1:30 left, so your movie will count that.
20 seconds of evaluation at the end.
Okay. You can talk over it.
We can talk over this. Okay. So yeah, what you see, oh, the end of the movie already. Okay.
Oh.
Well, that's very fast. Okay. So what you see, yeah, it's just surrounding. So the good thing, I think the good things about the project is that the collaboration was really nice to have a communication with the Rik, so the city actually, to discuss what we want to express and what we want to do. And our way of working, we are really working by doing stuff. So we make stuff in the studio and we discover it by doing, and then we can share it with Rik in the studio. So he was coming to the studio, we showed something and we thought, this is kind of the thing that we want to express. and then you can discuss it. So that was very nice, and then I'm pretty satisfied with the result of the work. Then the things that we can learn from this project is that for us it was unknown where the object would stand till 2 days before the installation. So that's something it's very difficult to work with, because on the end it stands in front of an etalage of a big shopping mall. It's quite a competition and something to learn. You need to, as an artist, you need to learn where to install it. Yeah,
it's the middle of the evaluation.
Yeah, we have only a few seconds left. How long do we have left?
You have no more time left, but I'll give you a few seconds to wrap it up.
Okay, maybe the few seconds we use for the evaluation. It's true that we didn't know much until we could install it in the open space before this warehouse, and that also goes for the city of Eindhoven. So we were totally unprepared for that. But the expectations are something we need to evaluate. There's a lack of a normal glow context. The audience is not prepared as they are used to. And the influence of activities is very limited due to the site-specific COVID restrictions. That's in regard to the locations. And the effectiveness, the route is not allowed. So people don't behave as usual in their normal ways. So that were all kinds of things we have to take into account. It also goes for the other 10 objects situated in the city. But this is something we need to evaluate. But the experiment behind the project makes it the beauty it becomes. And we were very pleased and glad in the way of working with Studio Toer, which was a pressure cooker project. And indeed, we used every week of the 10 weeks in total to come to where we are now. But also for the city of Eindhoven, the result is a brilliant artwork.
Thank you, Rik. So we have time for 2 questions. We have one already from Howard Griffin from the Kent University. Are routes around artworks not a better method of controlling crowds?
Yeah, that's a very direct question to answer. Of course, that's a better way to controlling crowds. But the restrictions of the city of Eindhoven were that the objects were not allowed to put into open space. So to avoid people coming to the artworks in numbers. Bigger numbers than we can have. So in a way you need to find the objects. But to be honest, I, as well as Wouter and Castor, were a bit disappointed about the locations itself and the restrictions coming with them.
Well, it's quite a difficult balance, because we really want to express as a city, but also we personally want to, we want to give to the people, but we cannot invite people. Because as soon as that's not ethically moral, because then, like, inviting people to your object, so it's a balance that they're still working on, and at this stage, indeed, it's set in such a way that's hardly visible, which makes it not inviting.
Yeah, you really have to look. You have to look for them and find the objects, and you're not even able to find them all if you're not wandering around, because you get them in places you'd never expect an artwork, but it's not the best spots, but it's the max we could get in regard to the restrictions.
Okay, that maybe leads to one of our questions. Is this permanent, or is it a temporary artwork?
That's a peculiar question. In one way, it's permanent. In the other way, in my I wish the artwork will be more permanent than the 1.5 months it will be visible in open space. But the festival of the event is non-permanent, but much longer than the Glow Festival itself, because that's only running for 6-7 days, and this will run for 6 weeks. So people are able to come back and see things again or discover new objects but after December 28th, all will be removed, and much of that will also be will be dismantled. But we hope to keep this a bit longer, because it's also property in a way of the artists and the city, and we hope to find a place to keep it going for an extra period of time in one of our buildings.
Great. Well, thank you to all three of you, and we also hope that it might become more permanent. And for everyone here, you can learn more about the Glow Festival and how it transformed itself tomorrow during the session about the transformation of light festivals at 2 p.m. Central European time.
Join in.
Oop, sorry, that's your time. Perfect timing. Okay, great. Thank you so much. So
thank Castor and Wouter for joining us and
thank you,
bringing this excellent artwork to the world.
Thank you so much. It was great to learn about it.